Welcome in. Good afternoon. It's the Ticket Punchers here on 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio. I'm your host, Roman Kelly, joined today by my two co-hosts here, Curtis Phillips and J.R. Anderson, as we take you down till 6 o'clock, as we do per usual here, Tuesday through Friday, right here on the Big X. We're going to be getting into a few things today, discussing some of the things that have happened over the weekend. I was not able to be a part of yesterday's show, unfortunately. I had to call a Midway University women's basketball game, but we did have Matt Childress in for us, making sure we were all up and running for Curtis and JR. Fellas, long time no see. It's been a little bit of a minute here since I've been last on, as the last Friday was our last show. Curtis, Philly Picks, how are you today, sir?
Doing good, Roman. Doing good. Glad to have you back on the show today. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Excited to round out our day here with some picks and some punches. JR, how are you today, sir?
Doing good. Glad to have you back. Sorry, didn't know my camera wasn't on, but yeah, glad to have you back and ready to get into the rest of the week.
I am as well. We've got a lot to get into. There's a lot happening. It's that exciting time of year, end of season stuff happening for college football, end of season stuff happening for the NFL, and that's where a lot of today's talk is going to kind of stand. I was only able to listen to about half the show yesterday. Didn't get to hear the picks, unfortunately, there. So I kind of want to ask you guys to start things off. Give a recap of how Tuesday night went for the official punches. We'll start with you, JR, if you've got yours up and pulled up. I know you guys gave a few different things out. I had a couple people text me. People have been texting me lately about us pretty often, saying they're loving the Ticket Punchers picks, love how much knowledge you guys bring to the show and the different outlooks on all the different things we get into. It's nice for a lot of people who don't want to listen to all that commercial stuff all the time, right? They want the true people kind of similar to them, betting how they do, listening to the kind of takes that they give out. And that's kind of what I want to hear about how your all's last night went. JR, we'll start with you. How were the punches last night?
Yeah, first off, we appreciate everybody for listening. We know we're a new show. We're trying to get adjusted, but we'll get better as we have been week over week. Last night wasn't so shabby for the JR. I did call the Virginia plus 4.5. From early on, we kind of saw what the game was without our commander-in-chief still not out there, man. It's not looking good for us overall. But from our other three legs, we scratched everything. We missed Vucevic by 1 point. He finished with 14, shot like I think 3 of 8 from the field. Didn't really get to the free throw line. And then my other two push plays kind of went under the rug. So for official punches, we finished 1-1. But most importantly, the one that most people probably paid attention to was the Louisville plus 4.5, which did cover. Not Louisville, for Virginia plus 4.5 did cover, which is what most people probably took, is what I got the most feedback on. So we'll
Good call there on that one, JR. Philly Picks, talk to us about the Tuesday night.
Yes, we went 2-1 on official punches. The Isaac McNeely over 11.5 points, cashed pretty easily going against his former team. Probably should have looked at a small ladder at a 15 plus at least for some plus money, but we get that. Dante DiVincenzo was the leg we did miss, over 26.5 PRA. He finished with 22 in a blowout versus the Bucks. And then we cashed Dyson Daniel on the right side of the hook. We had over 12.5 rebounds and assists. He finishes right at 13. So good to go 2-1. So looking to do a little better today.
My player props went 0-3 last night. The two teams I had, those won. So I don't even remember if I even said Wolves officially. I think we said it on the radio yesterday. I had Wolves and Heat. Didn't take the Lakers. I wanted to take LeBron officially, but we went with Jalen Johnson instead last night. Not able to hit on that one with the 22.5. Booker, of course, finishes right at 24 points, not able to cover the 25-plus for us. And the Spurs looked how I thought they would for 3 quarters. And then that fourth there, just letting the Thunder run away with it. I didn't think the Thunder were going to allow the Spurs to sweep the series like they have. Looked like they were on pace of doing, but
3-1.
Yeah, 3-1 so far. They may play again, they shouldn't play again. They didn't see each other in the NBA Cup or anything like that. So, technically a 2-3 night last night for us. It's all good. We're ready to get into things tonight here as well with some NBA action, and there's a lot of college basketball on. There's some 16-0 teams playing again tonight. There was one in action last night. Nebraska getting the win. We'll have Arizona and Vanderbilt playing tonight. We did have a Big X big bet from producer Matt today. He liked Vanderbilt on the money line straight up tonight to get a win if you wanted to look into that. But fellas, before we look into tonight's punches, I kind of just want to see where your all's heads are at with the college football playoff that we've got coming in less than a week. It'll be next Monday. We'll be discussing it pretty heavily, I assume, on Friday. Maybe even do a little bit of a daytime show on Monday just to get something out there if we can. Miami, the ACC representative, going up against Indiana in the Big Ten. 2 Indiana schools for the first time ever, I believe, in the national title game. Curtis, we'll start with you, Mr. Philly Picks. Are you doing any early line reading on this one? Are you waiting for a spread to shift something in your favor? Are you under, over? Are you team total? How are you approaching the college football playoff? It's one of those things that we've been thinking about it. We can't ignore it. Every time you turn the TV on or turn a sports book on, there's some kind of a boost or some sort of something being talked about it. How are you looking into this college football playoff matchup next Monday between Indiana and Miami?
Yeah, we talked about it briefly yesterday, but it should be interesting. Like we said, Miami playing in their home field, which is kind of crazy, but in the visitor locker room. So that should be interesting. But we've seen Indiana just dominate teams for most of the year. This is the most sound team we've seen in quite some time. I believe if they win this game, they'll be talked about one of the best teams that we've ever seen before. They have a lot of experience, about 20 to 30 seniors, lots of depth. So it should be a good matchup. As we said yesterday, I think me and JR are pretty much on the same page, leaning towards the Indiana spread. People's thinking it's a little bit too high, but like I've said, this team is just rolling over anybody, and they don't beat themselves. That's the key. You have to beat these guys, and we've seen Carson Beck and in big games struggled. He's done really good this college football playoffs, but against this defense, I think it's going to be a tall task to overcome. But the key in this matchup will be the Miami defense, obviously going against that Indiana offense in Mendoza. So we'll see how it goes. But I do think Indiana does take care of business Monday. So, but she should be a good one.
I think they take care of business. I think they win this game and prove to be the best team in college football this season. I was kind of feeling like Miami's defense could maybe make this interesting. So to hear that both of you guys are kind of leaning towards the Indiana minus 8.5 kind of shows me I need to stay away and listen to the guys who know what they're talking about here. I was thinking Miami's defense, if they can stop Indiana's run game and force Mendoza and Indiana to be a pass-heavy team in this game, they can keep it close. If they can get the same productivity from their offense, if they let Indiana run the ball at the same rate that we've seen that they can throw the ball, we know that they're going to have no chance. There has not been very many teams to stop the Indiana run game at all this season, even for a half of play. That is kind of the one thing, though, I think that they haven't gone up against a team this big, right? This is an offensive line that's an NBA, NFL type of offensive line on the Miami side, and a defensive line that's got some guys that are going to be difference makers at the NFL level, not just NFL-esque guys. So that's kind of the one factor that makes me think that, it could be a more close game than the line suggests, but ultimately Indiana should be able to handle business comfortably. They've not been a team that's prone to doing any little stuff that's causes them issues. They don't turn the ball over. They don't fumble. They stay ahead of schedule when they do run the ball. They haven't had any bad injuries or anything like that. So no reason for them to let up in this one. Not only that, I do think they have the better coach as well. At the end of the day, if it is a close game, it should go in favor to the coach that's proven to execute more in those kinds of situations, right? And that currently is Cignetti, if you ask me. But nevertheless, fellas, this kind of let's hear it, JR.
So in all of 2024, Indiana went over 47.5, 77% of the time. In 2025, they've been over 47.5, 67% of the time. So this team scores, man. And just looking at the valuable, comparable competition on defense across the board, we're talking about, Michigan State, Penn State, Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon. Pretty much all have covered besides one, which was the Oregon. And that game was actually slated to go under for majority of the public money. But this one is a whopping 68% of the public money to go over. So
really I'm on that over. That's the one play on the thing that I did kind of feel confident about. 47.5. And you just, take the basic route of looking into this. What has Indiana done in their last handful of games? Scored a healthy number of points in all of those. And you look at what Miami's done outside of the Texas A&M game, in which there was 10-3 scored in that one. They're over 24 points in all of their games as of late. 31 points on Ole Miss. They did 24 points on Ohio State, a defense that hasn't let up points like that all season long. And then when they rounded out ACC play, it was 30-plus points every single time out. This is a Miami team that when Carson Beck's on, that offense is very much so on, right? And I think you have to assume that they're going to be able to at least get some points out there. Probably not in that 27 or 30 range, but I think they can. 2 or 3 touchdowns should be the expectation, maybe a couple of field goals. If you can get some stops as well, they should be able to hang right there, I think. And over 47.5 is going to be the one official punch I'm going to drop on that game. We'll go ahead and say it right now on Wednesday here, the 14th. I'll be taking the over 47.5 in that one. Fellas, anything you guys want to add about college football playoff? Is there a player we're maybe going to be looking into? I know there's a lot of information we're kind of waiting to see kind of unfolds if anything abnormal happens. But are we going to be playing any player props in that matchup?
The one that I did circle that I think is a good parlay, since taking the money line is not very feasible, I do like Mendoza for 2 passing touchdowns. If you parlay money line Indiana with Mendoza over 1.5 passing touchdowns, minus 124. I think that's a beautiful lay to get the job done on National Championship Day.
That'll be. You probably can put a boost on that too, depending on what book you're looking at, even with only it being 2 legs.
This is just FanDuel minus 124 right now. Yeah, so I really love that.
Philly, anything you're going to be adding to this one?
If anything, it'll be Mendoza related. The last 2 games, 8 touchdowns, 5 incompletions, which is an insane stat. Or maybe if I can get a Carson Beck interception at around even or plus money, maybe I'll take a stab at that as well. So.
Yep, I'm thinking Carson Beck kind of due for one of them big game things, as we call them here. But, fellas, let's look at it tonight. JR, talk to us about tonight's slate. College basketball, NBA, where were some of the matchups that you thought that caught your eye tonight when you were looking and doing your dig?
The one that I love, obviously, is going to be the Cavs versus 76ers. Curtis has been high on 76ers. You've taken some 76er line. These guys, man, even though they're sitting at 22-16, Philly is favored at home right now by minus 1.5. But I do think the Cavs can come in here and get them. So I do think this is going to be a really good fight for, top 5 seeding in the East. That I'm really interested to see what these guards do. I'm really interested to see what the hometown guy Spida does against Maxey and Edgecombe. I haven't gotten a updated injury report. I'm waiting on that within the next 30 minutes. I don't know if Embiid and some of the, others like Paul George, those are typically the 2 culprits that I wait to see what the game lines are going to move to. But other than that, man, I know Jokic is still out. We got an injury report on him saying that, he's back to doing limited things, so he might not be out as long as we think he is. But Nuggets go up against Dallas and in Dallas. I do think Jamal Murray, he can turn it on. So I do think, he could easily go for a 30-plus burger tonight against Dallas. But more interested to see what Cooper does and surrounding cast. The game I really wanted to take a look at was going to be the Knicks and Kings, man. But, Kings are 10-30 at this point in the season. Something told me just stay away from them. So that's all I got so far.
If the Kings game isn't close in the first quarter, you can pretty much chalk that one up.
Yeah.
Philly, talk to us about your slate, how you were doing your dig tonight. And one more point of emphasis before that, Philly. I do want to let listeners know we are going to kind of add a different approach to the Ticket Punches. We're going to start keeping track of all sport records. So with every league, we're going to have individual records going forward. We're kind of accumulating those things because we have a couple of weeks of picks already that we all have written down. We've got to go put those into each league and give the league record out, right? Because I think a personal record for each of us that are doing multiple sports is a bit skewed, right? If we're sitting at 70 and 95 on the month, but we're 30 and 3 in NFL or college basketball, that's something that needs to be broken apart and emphasized. So we do want to let listeners know we're going to go more the league route instead of the official punch route for just the sake of our own bets. We're going to let these listeners know what our record is amongst all of the leagues that we're betting. We'll have that for you guys here about within the next 2 days, the official records on that once we get that all organized for you. But Philly, I wanted to ask where you're at tonight. College basketball, NBA. I mean, we've got tennis on tonight, some high-level Australian Open stuff going on if you were looking into that. NHL starting to really ramp up and provide that exciting level of play as well. Talk to us, Philly Picks.
Yeah, I absolutely love the slate tonight. College basketball and NBA. I know JR mentioned the Cavaliers and 76ers game. I was waiting on injury news in that one. I know Paul George, VJ Edgecombe, and Joel Embiid. I think they're all listed as probable, so maybe a go for all three of those guys. But I was waiting for lines to drop in that game. But I do have some props in a few of the other games. But, yeah, I love the slate for college basketball, too. It's a lot of ranked teams playing, not necessarily against the best opponents. It's a lot of ranked versus unranked matchups, but I still ultimately found a lot of stuff that I like. So, well, you want me to drop those now or wait till the end of the segment?
Yeah. Go ahead. Let us know what you're in on tonight.
Okay, I'll start in on the Nets and Pelicans game. Michael Porter Jr., he's been cashing for me pretty much all season. He had 35 points and 9 rebounds first matchup versus the Pels. So I'm taking this over 33.5 points and rebounds at -118. Pelicans been pretty bad defensively all season. He's hit this in 7 of his last 9 games. And he was actually in town last night. His former team, the Nuggets, played the Pelicans. So he was in the crowd watching this game. So maybe, he was watching some stuff that he could maybe exploit tonight. So I think he goes and gets at least 34 points and rebounds. I also love Mitchell Robinson, over 8.5 rebounds at -136. He's going up against the Kings tonight, who are allowed the second most rebounds to centers. And the last 4 games, he's seen an uptick in minutes, getting around 24 to 25, where before it was around 16 or 18. So Mitchell Robinson, we know, one of the best rebounders off the bench in the whole entire league. I think he gets at least 9. He's also cashed this in 6 of his last 7 as well. So, yeah, those were 2 of my NBA. And once we get to college, I'll drop 2 more official punches. But
my first official punch in the NBA tonight, kind of an interesting one, not one that I've taken a lot this season. It's going to be the Bulls money line, fellas. They're going up against the Jazz team that's just been, how do you say this nicely, not very good on the road this season, right? And they're not going to have Markkanen in this game, I believe, based on what I've seen from the injury report right now. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet. No Markkanen for the Bulls in this spot with the Jazz on the road. I like the Bulls at home here in this one. They are 4.5-point favorites. I kind of water that down more to like the 3.5, maybe even 2.5, but that does give you better odds on the money line that is sitting at -180 right now. That's kind of where I was at just with teams. I didn't have a lot I really, really liked team-wise. We did give out the Raptors money line straight up today as a Big X big bet going up against the Pacers at home, but I think something has changed with the injury report in that one. That was, obviously a 2:00 call for that game, where I'd like to look more into the injury report here as I pull that up. But so far, fellas, I'm really only on the Bulls as a team prop. I'm going to kind of maybe see if I can look into what the Raptors are doing and if I can find a way to play them tonight, maybe a live bet spot for them in that one. I do love the Michael Porter prop. He's been hooping, going crazy. And he knows he's in the trade talks right now. He knows there's a chance he's going to get moved. He knows there's a lot of teams calling for him right now. So he wants to continue to play at that extremely high level that he's been at. I wanted to look in. I like betting Knicks plays because the Knicks players are consistent. You know what you're going to get from the guys on the Knicks. It's just tough when you're going up against the Kings side that if it's a blowout, you're not going to get the same fourth quarter production. So I kind of stayed away from the player props in that one. Fellas, I did have one more that I was kind of looking at. Wanted to get your all's thoughts on it. But I'm going to rock with Kawhi tonight at home against the Wizards, 25+. at minus 184 for my first official player prop in my official punches. That's kind of the only two things that I had in the NBA were the Bulls at minus 3.5 and then Kawhi at 25 plus. JR, how do you feel about those and what do you have?
Yeah, I love your legs. I was just going to tell you stay away from the Knicks game. I was just watching Brunson statistics about him not getting over 29.5 points in almost the last 87% of his games in the last 10, except for one game almost. I had a feeling you were about to say Brunson for 30 or something like that. But yeah.
Brunson's been weird lately. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see here. I like, let me pull these up. So far, I have Brook Lopez under 12.5 points. The insights on this, which I really loved. Brook Lopez has failed to exceed 12.5 points in 19 straight games. Can you guess the odds for me?
Plus 120.
Nope, minus 132. We'll take it. He's not been playing good, man. 7 points, 8 points, 3, 6, 0, 6, 3, 0. If you're going to give us a 13-point edge, we will take it.
On the under, right?
Yeah, under. You know, I haven't taken many unders typically.
Yeah, it's not what you typically do.
Yeah, pro sports, I've always played devil's advocate a little bit and been like, this is these guys' jobs. It's hard for me to take an under when this is your profession. You're supposed to be good at this. And so it's hard to sometimes take someone that is supposed to be doing something and then they go over it when you knew, like, this is their job, So I've always had a hard time dealing with that. But for someone like him, who's a former Laker that I know pretty well, and his matchup is not good tonight, going against Washington with Sarr and those boys, all he wants to do is shoot three. So I really love his under. As far as player props in the NBA, that's all I have at the moment here. I'm looking for two other unders to complete.
What do you like in the college basketball realm tonight, Philly Picks? I have one that I'm looking at, but I want to see what you say first.
Yeah, there was a line that I just honestly did not understand, and it's the Colorado plus 8.5 going on the road versus Cincinnati, who a Cincinnati team that's been really good defensively, but have mightily struggled on the offensive end to get points. Their record sitting at 8-8, haven't really beat too many formidable opponents, and then 4 of the last 5 games have been decided by 7 points or less. And these are just two teams that I look more so as even. I'm not understanding why Cincinnati's laying 8.5 in this game. So Colorado plus 8.5 will be an official punch of mine. And then I also love Arkansas to bounce back tonight bounce back off their loss against Auburn versus South Carolina tonight, laying 11.5. They're 3-0 against the spread after losses this season. I feel like Calipari every year is, if he has a really good team, then he's going to be good off of a loss. So South Carolina, not too fond of. And Arkansas, they've covered 8 of their last 10 games. So they're not just winning, they're also covering. So those are two official punches that I love tonight in the college basketball realm.
I'm not mad at those. What was the line on the second one there?
Arkansas minus 11.5 at minus 1.
That's a kind of a big line, but on their home floor, there's no reason that they shouldn't be able to handle business in that one ultimately. I think there's an interesting matchup tonight. Xavier Butler. I mean, this is a jab, not an official punch here for me in college basketball. I did have Xavier to win. I know Xavier's been shaky. Butler's been shaky too, though. I think that on their home floor against evenly matched teams, you've seen Xavier go out there and be able to get these kinds of wins. Not consistently, but I do think they have enough tonight against this Butler side that just has not been very impressive. I get this Xavier side hasn't met expectations, but I was kind of leaning Xavier on the plus money. I see plus money. I see a home team. I see them evenly matched kind of an opponent, and I kind of want to go with the favor of who I believe is the better coach in that situation, which it may not come down to that. This one may come down to the actual opponent here. But still, it's kind of just a factor of where I was looking. I did have another one I was looking at, fellas. I think Kentucky loses tonight.
I was just looking at this line.
I know LSU's not great. I wanted to see how you guys felt about that one.
Yeah. So LSU Tigers are 0-9 in their last 9 games as an underdog. UK is right now minus 170. I was literally just looking at this. I was like, UK money line. I don't know how to feel about it. I haven't really kept up with LSU or even seen a
They're
game
bad.
of theirs. But LSU is loss, straight down. 78% of the public is taking UK. That's why they're favored heavily here. The line really hasn't moved. It's only moved 4 points up and 2 points down ever since 3 p.m. today. So not a lot of heavy money coming in. Everyone's convinced that UK should get this one at LSU. So that's a tough one for me.
Yeah, for me, I would stay off of LSU right now. Just they're dealing with injuries. I think they're a better team than what their record is showing. They have a guard out
who's hurt.
Yeah, he like the second leading scorer. He averages like 16 points per game. He's been out for a few games, and then they lost another, I believe, forward out for the season that averages around 10 points per game. So I think they're better than what their record shows. But yeah, they're just dealing with the little injury bug at the moment.
All right. Well, I mean, ultimately, then I don't have any other officials. I don't have any other official punches for even the slate tonight. I want to see, JR, you didn't give any officials outside of what you had in the NBA in the beginning. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that? Did you find those couple of unders you were looking for?
Nothing that I am absolutely loving.
Then let's go triple punch to round out the show then.
Yeah.
Philly, we'll start with you. What's your triple punch piece for tonight?
Yeah, I'll go Stanford plus 3.5 at minus 110. I was going to alternate it up, but I've been looking at this line all day, and I think I'm going to just go ahead and take it. But they're going up against North Carolina at home, and I haven't been impressed with this North Carolina team since they've gotten to ACC play. 2 games ago, went up against SMU, got blown out on the road. And then last game versus Wake Forest, you was up 15 late in that game. You shot 20 more free throws than your opponent. You shot 53% from the field, and you blew that 15-point lead and only won by 3. So I just have not been impressed with this team. We've already saw Stanford get a huge win, obviously, versus our Cards at home. They have a dynamic freshman that I think can put up a lot of points tonight. And I think Stanford is a live dog tonight. So give me the plus 3.5 for Stanford Cardinal.
I'm not mad at that at all. JR, you got your triple punch piece ready for you?
Yeah, we will do Tyrese Maxey under 6.5.
I was on Maxey. So you took him for under?
Yeah. What do you have? Because if you got something good, then I'll alt off of it.
No, I was going with his points. Just I like the odds on 25.
All right now, well, we can make that an official for me. Go ahead and give yours, and then I'll alt to one of my other 2.
I'll make my official Tyrese Maxey 25 plus points.
All right. Let's go. I want to go with a center here. I had 2. I got Reynald or Kobe White. Pick one.
Kobe's been hooping. Give me Kobe White.
I would go Kobe, but it's his first game back, and it always.
This is an under.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, because I'm about to give out a minute restriction, maybe. Okay,
yep.
Go ahead.
So 87.5 percentile here. Kobe White has failed to exceed 24.5 points plus rebounds in 7 of the last 8 games, minus 144. Under 24.5 points plus rebounds. And he's coming off injury and minutes restriction, most likely around the 20 to 25 mark. I love this line a lot. And they're going up against Utah, who has been dogs lately at the guard position and playing.
He hasn't played in 4 days.
Yep. Yeah. His last game was on the 10th, but that was the only game where he exceeded this line. Before that,
exceeded that one, since December 23rd.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. December 19th or December 17th, the last time before the 10th is when he exceeded it. So I love this line for him coming off injury.
24.5.
Yeah, 24.5 points plus rebounds.
I love it. Mm-hmm. I like the under there.
Plus 462, the odds on those.
Nice. I'll take it.
That's going to wrap us up here on the Ticket Punchers. That's been our or did I get mine out?
Yeah, Maxey 25 plus.
That's right. Maxey Okay, yeah, that'll do it then. This has been the Ticket Punchers here on the run-in with on the WXVW Big X Sports Radio. Stay tuned if you want. We'll be on YouTube. We'll be on X for a few more minutes. We'll also be back tomorrow right here on the Big X, 5:30 to 6. Thank you all so much for listening. Fellas, let's go punch those tickets.
Punch those
tickets.
I love that Kobe White under. He kind of been hooping before he got hurt, but I think the trade stuff that was happening there and the couple of injuries that they dealt with kind of changed some roles and stuff happening in Chicago a little bit. And I feel like they've got a shift coming.
Oh yeah,
possibly.
Chicago always has a shift coming.
Yeah.
Everybody but the Bears.
Yeah, we had our shift.
Mm-hmm. Y'all gonna get it done? I haven't looked at anything yet.
Man, I think honestly, like coming into the playoffs, I think the team that I was most worried about facing was the Rams, but I'm not anymore. I'm very confident that we're gonna win this game. I think the cold's gonna be a little factor for Stafford, honestly. Yeah, Rams and the Stafford.
Keep in mind what Matt Stat did to Philly last year in Philly in the snow. That boy was one catch away. He was balling.
That is true. But I don't
think the cold would be a factor. The two things I was looking at was the two injuries that y'all have. Y'all lost y'all's offensive lineman starting left guard, left tackle, and then y'all lost linebacker.
Yeah,
that's
big.
Big time. That's big time.
But we've honestly, Bears, we've been dealing with a lot of injuries all season, and it's really just been next man up. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes. But here's how I look at it, though. I mean, Rams, it just took them a game-winning touchdown to beat the Panthers. I think we're a whole tier above the Panthers, So
yeah.
We'll see, though.
At home,
a very good game. I mean, they was just 10.5-point favorites against the Panthers, and that's down to 7 against us. So I think it tells you something, but we'll see how it goes. I think we get it done, though.
Yeah, I'm rooting for you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Long as well, I don't care who it is. Long as Josh Allen don't win.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one I don't want to win.
Yeah. I want to play Seattle, though. I really want to play Seattle. I don't know why. I mean, that's one of the best defenses. I feel like we turned Darnold over, though. It'll get two to three times. But yeah, that defense would probably be a lot for us.
Darnold has a lot to prove because every time we've seen him in the playoffs, he looks like a deer in headlights in the middle of Milwaukee.
Right.
He don't look good in a dome, out of a dome. So I think this could be a really bad game for him or a coming out party because I've never seen him play good in the playoffs.
Yep. We'll see.
I hate him.
What's up?
I hate him.
Really?
Why you hate Darnold? What did he do to you?
He's a fraud.
Yeah, he's really he's only had to be a
choke artist.
Really. Yeah.
He gonna throw a thing when it matters most. Bank on it.
Throw a thing. That's crazy. Throw a thing.
All right, fellas. I gotta pick up the kiddos. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Punch some tickies.
Let's go punch those tickies. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Adios, amigos.
Oh, yeah, can you in stream for me, JR?
It's gonna cost you some money. All right, brother.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir. Be safe.
Punch those tickets.
Punch tickets.